packed full of shows. It's been great. I've had amazing guests, but today I'm joined with two very other special guests. I have Fatema.
Hi, so nice to be here.
Thank you for coming in. And I also have Farishta.
Hi everyone, it's lovely to be here today.
So these are two very special people from social media. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that's on our minds of many business owners, marketers and content creators, social media marketing. Social media marketing is one of the things that get people business rolling, like Fatima, yourself, and obviously you who work for Easy Drive. And we in this show will cover the basics of social media marketing, including why it's important, how to get started, and the best practices for success. So sit back, tune in, and let's dive in this exciting world of social media marketing. So, do you guys want to introduce yourselves and just tell us what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Fatima, better known as Fearless Fit on Instagram. So I'm basically a personal trainer, and I thought it'd be nice to talk about how I've grown my business virtually off my business page on Instagram. So yeah, and I'm a mum of two, single mum of two, so quite a busy life, but yeah, it'd be interesting to talk a bit more about that.
Alhamdulillah. And you, Farishta?
Well, I'm a used car sales manager at Easy Drive, and what we essentially do is sell vehicles locally. I've only started that business for them in September, so it's a fairly new thing, and that's why social media and marketing is a bit important for us to get us the clients we needed in at the minute.
My first question for you guys is, obviously I didn't tell you guys this in advance, but my first question for you guys is, how did it feel when you first started marketing? Like when you first started your business pages, obviously you do a lot of the Easy Drive, and that's a business, so that's even more pressure because if it messes up, it's all on you.
That's it, yeah.
And for you, you own your own business. So how does it feel like when you started it and you first like blew up? What was the feeling?
I think at first you always doubt yourself because you don't know how it's going to go. You think, oh, is it going to pay off, or am I doing the wrong thing? But you never know until you give it a shot. So in that sense, I think just give it your full shot and don't worry about what others are going to think, because essentially it will definitely pay off if you put it in 100% work.
And you, Fatima?
Yeah, I think for me as well, I'm pretty much self-taught. I've not had any courses or any, official training on marketing, because I'm kind of like a one-man show. So I have to, I'm responsible for advertising, showcasing what I do with my clients. And then obviously the uptake, I'm doing the admin, and then I'm also doing the actual training. So it's quite a process, and a bit like what Farishta said, like you do doubt yourself, especially when I had to first put myself out there for my business. It was completely new to me, and you kind of overthink it a lot, and you think, well, nobody would want to see this. But then eventually you get your feedback, and when people say, wow, I really like the fact that you showcase this, or this is what you do with your clients, and that's when you go off of that, and then you kind of see like, what are people interested in seeing from you?
I think what the main thing here is, as much as people think social media is all negative and you get haters, and that is a part of social media, and
Absolutely.
me being on Instagram as well, I see that a lot as well. But I think it's also the fact that you do get people who love your content and love you for what you post and what you do. And I think you kind of need to focus on those people less than
Yeah,
more
because
than
there
the
is
haters.
more positives
Of course, always.
on social media than there is negative. You're
Yeah.
always going to get the odd person that's miserable, so they're leaving horrible comments on anything.
I think it's
Yeah.
just jealousy at
If
the end of the
someone
day.
is genuinely satisfied with something that you've provided to them, then they'll always be grateful and leave comments, Google reviews and whatnot, and then that will spread the word about your business, for example. You never know when the next person that's going to read that and what sort of impression
Yeah.
they're going to get from that either.
And that's how people make their businesses, if we're
That's
going to be
it.
honest. That's how that's how it works. you need those good
Essentially,
comments.
it's about the value that you
Yeah.
add to people, especially from your page on the social media. You've got to make sure that your posts add value or they're of interest to somebody, and that's what's going to keep them coming back. And even though you might have those little haters on the side, but the majority of your clients or customers, they've dealt with you, so they know what you're about. And that's how you get referrals.
At the end of the day, you just have to shake it off and let it through one ear and let it out. the other, I
Absolutely.
think at the end of the day, because there will be people. I think even for me, going into doing the radio, doing podcasts at my school, and it's just like being obviously. I'm not a social media asset, I would say, like you, Fatima. But I would say to myself, no, but I would say that obviously I'm on YouTube, and I feel like just being a youngster as well on YouTube, you get so much from the kids. Like, it's like, oh, why are you doing that? That's so weird. And it's not right. You shouldn't do that. You're gonna get bullied. And it's those pesky little comments that just made me feel like, why am I doing this? But then I kind of put myself, and I think my biggest support would be my parents as well, because they've always told me, and Mr. Chowdhury, can't forget him. No, but they've always told me that, you know, it doesn't matter what these people say. At the end of the day, it's you who's doing it, and you're doing it for your future. Absolutely. And when people look back, they're going to see that, you know, what we should have done, what Hibah does. Like, I've been told many times, why do you do podcasts? It's so stupid. Why do you do this? Why do you not? But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, I'll do what I want to do, and it's for my future, not for you. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's not my business.
I think it's knowing what reason you're doing it for. So even though people can judge you and say, oh, you're doing it for this reason, but you know you've got a message to get out there.
Get broadcasted out there,
Yeah, and I don't feel like I should stop anytime soon.
No,
I think going like, I've been given so many great opportunities. I'm literally having my own show on a radio station. Like, what 13-year-old would do that? Alhamdulillah, I've had 4 shows already now. This is my 4th show, and it's just amazing. And
look at how confident you are.
I know.
Look, you're carrying this show. You're doing absolutely
Thank you so much.
That's the first thing I thought as well. I was like, you must be older, but you've got so much confidence, mashallah, and you the way you ask the questions as well.
I think that's the best thing. I think confidence is one thing you need if you're going to carry a show, if you're going to be a host. And I think, alhamdulillah, I've grown up with such a loving family that they've just given me the confidence. And that's one thing I would say is my family is my biggest support. And obviously, Mr. Chowdhury he's basically my uncle. No, but seriously.
If anyone is ever doubting you, just remember this. People want you to do well, but never better than them.
That's amazing advice. I think not just for me. I think for everybody. But no, thank you so much. It means a lot. But yeah, let's get on with our questions. We got carried away there. But let's carry on with our questions. It's but I think this is what I really like when I do my shows. It's having these one-on-one conversations with my guests. Like, I've met you before, Farishta.
Yeah,
it's my first time meeting Fatema, but I feel like there's already a connection. Like, we just get along, all of us. I think we've all got such bubbly personalities and stuff, and it's amazing. And that's why when me and Mr. Chowdhury were planning this, we thought these two would be the perfect match. And it's like, you guys do completely different things. You guys do completely different things as well, but it's like, you guys kind of have the same concept, and I think working around that is amazing. Let's go back to our questions. So, how did you guys grow your business from social media marketing?
Do you want me to go first? Well, I think for me, I started off basically doing PT. You need to be well known, right? And not many people know this, but I was already doing personal training abroad. So I used to live in Saudi Arabia. So down there, I had my clients, I had my reputation, I had my credibility. And then suddenly I moved back, relocated to UK about 5 years ago. So, you know, when you're in this line of work, it's crazy because it's like nobody knows you. You're not going to get clients. You're not going to make any money. So that's when I had to turn to social media, because I realized, you know, if I get on Instagram, that's the way I'm going to. So it's a tool for me to showcase what I do. And it just started off really as posts and stories, really simple stuff. But I think I quickly realized that being present the most is the best strategy to, like, grow your business and stay consistent. Like, you're not going to get followers and, you know, clients coming in straight off the bat. You don't come for free. It's going to take time. You're going to have to put yourself out there. And I think also what's important is putting a lot of your personality out there. I get it. Like, for me, it's a fitness page. But a lot of times I'll put, like, my cat, for example.
I've seen it. It's beautiful, by the way. It's beautiful.
Thank you. He's like the love of my life. He's my 3rd child. And, you know, things like that, it just helps people to connect with you as a person as well, because especially for myself, they're paying me to be their PT, and technically they're buying your time. So they have to be able to connect with you in order to hire you to you know, help them. And secondly is, I think, just providing inspiration. That's my goal with my page, is inspiring women to come into the gym and do things that they never thought they could ever achieve or do. So yeah, that's the angle I took when promoting myself on Instagram.
I think the best thing about that is like you don't know, and we live in such a we live in a common area. We don't live in a common area, so we live in a very like Leicester's not well known as much as you think. Like there have been a few bits and bobs about the news with Leicester, but it's not like a well known city like London or Birmingham. It's more of the hidden ones in the depth of the UK. And I think finding and making a business in such a small city is what's harder, and I think you've done amazing. Even with Easy Drive, they've done amazing.
Thank you.
But yeah, so you Farishta, how did you go your business from social media marketing?
Right, so I started just doing sales for Ford, and that's where I actually built my car knowledge. I worked there for 5 years, and then an opportunity came up where I was given the opportunity to actually start a little business for Easy Drive. And I took that opportunity, and at first I was a bit nervous, like I said, because there are so many competitors when it comes to motor trade. The NFDA reported that there is just under 5,000 motor trade dealers in the UK, and that doesn't even count the private ones, so there's way more than that. So that's the kind of competitors we're against. But we actually started it. We've got in-house marketing at Easy Drive, so photographs are always done with high quality, and that's sort of the take we want to go towards, because if someone sees something that's visually pleasant to you, you're always going to go for that as opposed to something that you're going to see and not necessarily like too much. So in that sense, yeah, I think visualizing and bringing your personality out on there, so being in videos and reels on Instagram itself, that really helps. Our main source of platform is actually Auto Trader. People won't consider that as media, but it is, I would say, because it gives you a great analysis as to what people look for and how we can sort of project our figures into buying the suitable vehicles for our business.
And guys, yeah, do check these pages out. Check Easy Drive, you might see a familiar face. No, but seriously.
We've got a reel there with Hibah on there. Yeah, that's right.
No, but they did come in.
I need to see this.
I'll check.
It's amazing. I'll show you after. No, but seriously, they came in for our culture day, and I think it's still the highlight of our show, and it goes around. And I think this is the biggest thing. Easy Drive is all over TikTok now. Like, that's the big crave right now, is Judgmental Cultural Day, and it's amazing because that's all people are talking about, and it's amazing to see as well, because it's like your cars were such a big hit, and I think the Corvette was the top tier right there. The Corvette, the Jeep, and the Rolls Royce, they were all amazing. They were all amazing cars, and it's funny to see a car like that in front of your face, and I got to sit inside. I got to do what I wanted to do. You guys can check out Judge Meadows' Instagram as well. It'll show you everything there. But yeah, no, it was an amazing experience as well, sitting in these sports cars and these different vehicles you never thought you'd sit in. And going on what you said, Fatema, about you have to be active on your social media. What I've done my research on was there's about over 4.2 billion people worldwide that are active on social media platforms. So that's crazy to see, like 4.2 billion people. Like imagine you need to make content every second for those people. You don't know who's online at what time. So you just need to have content out every day. And I think
it's ready.
Yeah. I'm not an influencer in any way, shape or form. So I keep very to myself. But I like posting my stuff. I have my own Instagram, I have my own Snapchat, but I keep that for my family and friends. But I think posting little snippets of my life, little things I do with my friends, I think it's fun. It's really fun, and it's crazy. Like we talk about this as friends as well. We say it's crazy how people make livings off of these. Like you'll see these big TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, and they've made money out of this stuff. They literally
get their free products. Just talk about it. And they get paid for it.
Exactly.
It's a double win for them.
Yeah, literally. And it's like you see them like now you have people who started off with little things and now have their own like different brands,
That's
and
it,
they're
yeah.
doing makeup brands, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and you're like, what? How?
I think the next step is like selling merch, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Like,
think,
for
and
most of these influencers.
and people buy this merch like it's
And
nothing.
for the businesses, they know who their target audience is. So first thing they're thinking is, we've got to reach the target audience. We know they've got millions of active users on there. We want to make like an excellent channel for our business. So let's reach out to these people.
I think
and the next one is like the engagement. Are these people that we're actually paying for our advertisement, getting the engagement that we think they are? Then they'll get more and more products again. And then once they've targeted that audience, it's just based on analysis then. And when they analyse that, if, for example, I don't know if you use TikTok or if you've brought anything on there, but if someone's advertising something, they'll say, use code Ramadan 10, for example, for 10% off. And use that, and when they analyse it and 1,000 people have used that, they then get a kickback from it as well. So, so it's amazing. But that then, say if you see something and you go on your Google, for example, you've seen something, a hair oil, for example, on TikTok. You've then gone on Google there, that then saves it on your cache and cookies. So when you visit a website, your browser stores a copy of the website's files, like image and script, honestly, in like a temporary storage area called the cache. And then when you visit the website again, it holds all of that data for you. With the cookie side of it, it's more sort of the computers users like login credentials and stuff.
It is scary.
Yeah, so they know what you want. And then the weirdest thing is you'll go on your Facebook and then they're advertising that same thing on your Facebook because your browser's now saved all that info.
But have you guys noticed, I know this might not actually be true, but I'll ask you since you're into marketing. Sometimes I feel like, you know how our Apple Watch kind of like just brings up stuff when you're just having a conversation, obviously. It's hey Siri or whatever. But I just feel like I've not even browsed things at times. I've just said it, or I've had a conversation, and then I go to my Insta feed or whatever, and there it is. And I genuinely have not typed.
Nah, I literally feel like the phones listen to us. Like the phones have like ears of their own, and they just listen to everything we're saying, we're doing, and it's scary because
it is, because Alexa records everything.
I don't like having Alexas and stuff in my house.
Yeah, I don't have Alexa.
I don't have Alexa. I don't have any of that. I stick to Siri and my Apple Watch and all my iPhone stuff. I'll stick to that. That's fine. I'll stick on my phone. No, but seriously, it's scary because it's like you might say the wrong thing and it just comes up. And that's what's the worst bit about social media. You never know what you expect. Let's just say that it's a world full of
there's a lot of opportunities as well. Like, you know, like you mentioned as well, there's more positives than there's negatives.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're putting out positive, you know, content all the time and inspiring people, or you're selling something, you know, it's only going to be used in a beneficial way, hopefully. But I think I wanted to make a point and now I've forgotten. You mentioned on how to make the strategies, right?
Yes.
Did you mention that? Yes, I forgot to mention, like, also collaborating with others. That's another good way. Giveaways, you know, drawing more footfall to your page because people have to like, follow, and all of that stuff, good stuff. And then I think keeping up with the Instagram algorithm, or with any app really, you need to know what they're actually pushing forwards in terms of the algorithms. So those are some of the things I've started, and also calls to action. So I've noticed, like, if you're asking people in your stories, say, or in your reels, like, oh, comment, you know, comment how was your experience with this, or a poll like rating something. I think that way you can draw more people to your page as well.
Yeah. Talking about calls, I did forget to mention, guys, you guys can message in if you have any questions for Farishta or Fatema. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any questions of you guys. But the number to message on is 0774 8855 That's 0774 8855 You can also message in on Facebook, which we are live on, and on Instagram. Well, actually, we're not live on Instagram, but you guys can check out our Facebook, and it will be on. Then you guys can send us a message on there as well, and we'll get that, and we can answer if anything. But yeah, my other question for you guys was, how can social media be used to drive website traffic and sales, and how do you measure success? Like, is there like a pie chart, or is there something in Instagram? Because obviously, like I said, I don't do all of that. So from you guys, especially you being a whole influencer yourself, I want to know from you, Fatima, how do you see who watches your video mainly? Like, I'm sure you can see if the amount of males
I
and
get
females.
to see, especially with the business page, you can see the figures of who's engaged with your posts. And actually, quite recently, so I'll give you an example of one of my posts that went really viral, I would say, for myself anyway. For an account that's got about 4,000 followers, I got 1,000 likes on that.
Say, mashallah, 4,000 followers, that's an amazing number. Just wanted to put that out there.
And also, I want to say, it's not even about vanity metrics, I call it. It's not about how many followers you can achieve. It's more about quality followers, especially for me. Do they turn into actual clients? Do they turn into leads and, actually turn into someone who's going to invest in your services? But this was a particular post, and it's so interesting for me because it was International Women's Day. I'm getting ready for work, first thing in the morning, 8 a.m., and I'm thinking, right, I've got a picture in mind, I've got something in mind that I'm going to put together, but I don't have time. I was rushing to get into work. And then I thought, no, but I need to put something up there because it's 8 a.m. and everyone's kicking off with their post. So I literally went on Pinterest, found an image. Now, I do think, obviously, the image has to be good, because the one I found, it had like silhouettes of 4 women from 4 different racial backgrounds. It was quite obvious. So it was nice because it was very inclusive, and I thought it was just a really nice post to put up. And without thinking, boom, I put it up there. I probably I put hashtags, but really quickly, not as much thought went into it as I would any other post. Put it up there early morning, and it just flew. It flew to the point that I had 49,000 accounts were reached.
Wow.
I had...
Mashallah again, literally.
But what my point is, I didn't spend 2 hours making a video showing people an exercise. It was literally that. I must have found the right picture, and I posted it that was really timing. And I always call it the 3 T's. It's like timing, trending, teaching. So if you've got content that's on the right time, which it was first in the morning, people were searching for their happy International Women's Day quotes. They were probably searching, they came across mine, and it got shared about 300 times on people's stories. I kept getting tagged in them. That's how I know. So it was mad. I had like 1,000 likes off of that. I probably got 20 followers off there. But at the end of the day, that was more footfall on my page, and eventually it would turn into
potential clients.
There
you
you
never
go.
know,
There you go. So it's like being on that train when it hits at the right time, and that's it. It can really fly.
And the best way to do that is like you go on your Google first thing in the morning, and Google usually has like weird things around it depending on the festival, the celebration. So you click on it, you know what day it is. Today it might be Chinese New Year, so like you're out there celebrating it, and then it just shows a great way of you being diverse with your business, showing you do care for their business as well.
One thing for you, Fatema, I've not done this my whole show, and I've really been wanting to do this. I've seen my dad doing all the other shows. As a mashallah, I just wanted to press this. I really wanted to press it. I really wanted to press it. It's been that I really want to press it. Okay, and I think it was a perfect moment with those numbers.
Oh, thank you.
Just have a clap. No, but seriously, amazing numbers. Just from one post, great. I want to talk about a bit of my experience with this social media driving and using the success thing. So we talked, what we did was we did a little video for Judge Meadow. I did it myself. So it was such a unplanned thing. So we had this coffee morning about internet safety, and Mr. Charlie just pulled me out of lesson, and he was like, Hibah, let's film a video because we're not getting the attention we need. So we literally did a quick transition video, and we got inspired by a famous Facebook artist. I really do not remember his name, but hats off to you if you're watching this. Probably isn't, but we got an idea from him, and he was doing these different little transitions, and it was like one was like swiping, and then it brings it back from the other side, and then one was zooming in on his hand, and then it takes it out, and it looks like like a completely different thing. And with transitions, I've been very familiar with transitions through TikTok because I used to be a big TikTok fanatic. Like I would be on TikTok 24/7. I'd be doing all these different transitions, and it's just all of that. So I have a little bit of experience. Like I've not done anything in school or anything like that. It's more just
visually,
in myself, for myself, and so we bring in obviously we did that, and it was really fun because like I've never done something like that before, and I think it just really it brought in the community as well, and we got banging views on that as well. And it was so nice for me as well to see that, because it was my first ever reel I ever made, and I was so happy because it banged views and it was amazing, and actually a lot of people did comment, and it was amazing, and I love to see that. My next question for you guys was my next question is actually for Farishta. Can you give me an example of marketing that you did in your job that you were particularly pleased with the outcome?
Well, my most recent one, actually, it must be the Judge Meadow one with Hibah. So what we actually did, as Hibah previously mentioned, we took a few of our cars into Judge Meadow on their culture day. We took a Corvette, G63 and the Rolls Royce. A few exceptional kids got to actually sit in them, get a feel for the cars, and then the rest of the kids came out on their lunch breaks. But marketing isn't always about seeing like the monetary side of it. I think it's nice to give to the local community as well. You know, like, because you said it's a small area as well. Everyone pretty much knows everyone. So it's nice to be able to like give to the local community without thinking about the monetary side of it. You know what I mean? Just even people now knowing that there is an easy drive that sells cars, that's enough for us to get the recognition. So yeah, so in terms of social media, we took it to Judge Meadow because we believe that kids wouldn't necessarily see these sort of cars. It was a bit of a hype day for them though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was shambolic. It was crazy. The good thing was I got a little sneak preview and I got to sit in the car. I still have our picture for Farishta. We have that one picture. It was amazing. It was really fun.
You had the wow factor. Like you just needed to like walk by and be
and
like,
I
want to be part of it.
And we were like sitting in these sports cars that you see on TV, and you're like, whoa,
this is real.
Yeah, this is real. And it's like I think one of my dream cars is a Jeep. Like I've always loved the concept of a Jeep, and you know, sitting in that Jeep, it was amazing. And I think a lot of the favorite car was the Jeep and the Corvette. It was a big hit. I think you guys know what you guys were doing there. They bought 2 blue cars and 1 grey car, and they had it all lined up, and it was amazing. No, it was really, really good. I did enjoy myself. And I do want to thank Easy Drive for bringing that to us, because our culture day would not have banged if it wasn't for that.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We'll be back next year, hopefully.
Inshallah. If Allah wills, if anything, if we're even here. No, but seriously, it was amazing. My question for you, Fatema, was you're a personal trainer, you do gym, your main concept is gym and all of that.
Yeah.
So during Ramadan,
yeah,
obviously this is very Ramadan, we need to bring the Islamic factor into this. Yeah. So during Ramadan, how do you train? Because obviously it's different, it's difficult, like doing it with fasting, not drinking or eating.
I think this year's been quite different for me. So every year my normal would be training after iftar time. Me personally, I would train right before iftar. I think that's a good option for people if you can get to the gym and train then, and then straight away go home and break your fast. But being a mum as well, I'm usually in the kitchen getting the food on the table at that time, so I cannot have that liberty. So basically after iftar, I need like an hour or two, and then I would get down and I've got my weights at home. But this year I've not really put pressure on myself because I am working, and when I'm training clients anyway, I'm lifting weights and I'm, already quite active, I would say, during the day. So this year I've put less pressure on myself, and I've just said, well, if I can, I can. My main focus is getting through my fasts in a good way. I don't want to be depleted. But also, the other thing I've encouraged, especially like on my page, that's actually another of my reels. That's a reel I actually made that in
Fatima, just before you carry on.
Go
Sorry,
on.
I did not want to stop you.
That's
I
okay.
felt so rude doing that. We do have a text message that has come in.
Yeah.
It says, what about when people create fake accounts to bully people? Any advice on how we should deal with it?
That's a perfect topic because I think me and Fatima have both experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it was only January and somebody actually created a fake account of me on Instagram of me with all my photos.
Oh my God.
And the worst thing about it was in their bio they put my Instagram account's been hacked, please unfollow the other one, this is my new account.
Wow.
I know it was awful, but that's where like the safety measures come in. Every major social media content like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all have safety guides. So with me, what I had to do is literally send a photo of myself with my driving license right next to me. They then review that photo and they took the page down literally within a few hours.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that stressful. But if it's in regards to bullying, okay, you know what they say, some people say just turn it off, but you can't do that. You just can't do that because
I think that's the worst
as much
thing.
as like we were saying there is bad things, you also want to go back to the good friends on social media as well. So block. That is the best feat. Just block.
I love blocking people.
Ignore.
It's so fun. Just
Just
the press
hate.
of a button. Just block.
Yeah.
Just
Just
report them and block
What
them.
can they do? Like they're gonna waste more time creating another fake account whilst
Yeah.
you're still living your life, enjoying life. And
you know what? At the end of the day, once you find out who it is, you just know that, you know what? One, they're a stalker and stalking is a crime.
you know what?
Yeah.
You might not know, but Allah knows. Let him deal with it.
That's
exactly
exactly what we need. Yes. And bullying is also breaking a law. So that's 2 laws you're committing right there.
There's quite strong punishments now.
Yeah,
for anyone who does this kind of thing where they bully you on social media or if they take your pictures and they start posting them. And I think we've all been, through that. And I think Instagram for myself as well has been quite good in that I've had a lot of my friends report it. And as soon as I've done it, it's been about 2 to 3
Getting
hours.
other people involved is the best thing. Yeah,
that's
getting
right.
people involved. Yeah.
I know this is off topic.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to ask Fatima this
Oh,
before
go
we got
on,
the
go
text.
No, go on.
Do you feel like your clientele has reduced in Ramadan because you mostly sort of work out with females, okay?
Yeah.
And do you think as a result of that now, you then have to do a bit more marketing to get yourself out there during this month?
So I think that comes down to the way my business works. So I'm used to this. Every Ramadan, I know that my workload's probably going to be cut in half, more or less, because like right now, there's no groups or classes being run because most of them are women who would fast. And it's better for me. So I just take it in the sense that, well, I'll carry on with my one-to-ones because that's fine for me while I'm fasting as well. And in terms of marketing more, the reason why I don't really feel that pressure in Ramadan is because I've already got my clients signed up for their set sessions. So the way my PT works is you kind of sign up for 10 sessions or 10 weeks of groups and whatever. So I know that that's on hold and then we're going to resume as soon as. And that's another thing, like what I've loved about being on Instagram is I've never had to worry because thankfully I've always got a good steady stream of inquiries and clients. So as long as I'm doing my thing and just posting out there as and when, I've always got a steady stream of inquiries and, clients willing to sign up. Quite a few new ones as well as soon as Ramadan's over. So alhamdulillah, all of this I have to say as well, it comes from faith, having good faith in Allah and what Allah brings you really.
That's the best thing, keeping
it's
it all
not
in
through
Allah's
us
hand.
only, it's
keeping it
barakah.
all. I think even with bullying, I would say advice for people my age, I think what I've learned is if you are going through a tough time, find your guidance, find the way in Allah. And I think that's what Ramadan's all about. Okay, right. But I think that's what Ramadan's all about, is mainly finding your guidance and, speaking to your family, speaking to your parents, speaking to your siblings. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your mom and dad, talk to your brother and your sister. If you don't have a brother and sister, talk to your cousins, talk to anyone, your uncle, auntie. And I think one thing teachers, your friends, I think friends is something I do not take myself in talking to a lot because I just feel like I have that scare that what if they judge me. But I feel like one thing I can do is always find my way back to Allah and, praying namaz, making dua. Yeah. And especially now it's Laylatul Qadr, we're coming for our last 10 final nights. Any of these days can be Laylatul Qadr. And I think Islamically as well, I think you guys need to just find your way back to Allah and, you know, do everything you need to do, pray your Quran, do all of that.
And also charity. Like,
charity.
you know, Allah says when you give in charity, and it's, you know, I usually do my zakah in Ramadan. And he promises you that if you give for charity, nothing has been taken from your wealth. Yeah. And I genuinely every year see it, that you give that number, whatever it is,
it always comes back.
And it comes back.
Twice as more,
twice
if not.
More,
there we go.
This is what I mean. Literally, and that's the barakat in your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love Islam as a faith as well. It's just such a beautiful faith. And I think going into the ending of Ramadan, it's actually so sad because this year has been so like amazing and easy. It's literally been it's literally come and gone. And that's a good Islamic talk that we had for our Ramadan bit and aspect. Going back onto marketing, how do you make your media content go viral? I do assume it's not easy. So who wants to take the lead on that question?
I think you need to be create unique content. Okay, I think it's important to do that because you've got so many competitors out there. You probably have more competitors than I do. Yeah, like the fitness world is so out there at the minute,
and there's a lot of pressure to portray yourself in a certain way.
You know, fitness is such a hard thing as well. Being an Islamic woman,
I think it's finding that fine line
because you can't show your body inappropriately. You can't be touchy with males. You can't do all of that. So you need to be so careful, especially with what you're putting out there as well.
So I do personalized video. If you inquire on one of my cars, I'll go around the car for about 2 minutes. I'll point out the features and whatnot. But I always have to make sure I'm dressed appropriately to do that. Yeah. Just so it's
people
not
will
seen.
judge you.
That's it. Yeah. So that's one way of being unique. I think you could possibly do something like online marketing and stuff. So that's another way that social media is getting our business out there. We don't necessarily need to have the customers or clients there with us. For myself, I can send them personalized videos of the car. With Fatema, I think you do stuff online. That's it. Yeah, online videos and send it to the clients. They can then look at it in their own time at their own convenience. So that's another way. Use humor. That's the most important thing.
I think this is
your personality out there.
Video.
Exactly. It's just you just want to fall asleep.
Thank you for your inquiry on my video today. But if you're there, hi, thank you so much for your inquiry on the video.
No, seriously. No,
that's true.
I think even with the podcast, there's been times I've literally lied to Mr. Charlie. I cannot do this. It's so boring. I want to fall asleep.
But you need to evoke
you need
emotions.
to, and I think as much as it is one person, you need to have if you're doing something I guess you have to have people who are like you. So I think one thing for me right now with this show is it's been an amazing show and it's coming to an end and it's making me so sad.
Oh my God, no!
We have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes.
I think we made loads more notes.
Yeah, we did.
I think it's been we've not, as much as we did make notes and stuff, we've not been following them. We've had on and off topics about everything, and I think that's the main thing about this.
I think being more organic, isn't it? You don't want everything to be set.
Obviously you need to have your notes. You need to have everything there. You need to know what you're gonna speak about. But I think this show has been just amazing, and I'm so sad that's my last show. I'm so sad.
But you're such a good host.
You can do it permanently. Off Ramadan, your own show.
We'll come back on.
Please next year, inshallah. No, but seriously, amazing. It's been such a good show as well. But sorry, carry on.
But just evoke your emotions. So if somebody can see in your video that you are happy, you're determined, then they're gonna sort of project onto your energy and feel that as well. Whereas if you're boring and sad or showing no enthusiasm, that's the energy they're gonna get. Do you know what I mean? You give. What is it?
You get what you give. You get what you give.
But I think it takes a certain level for you to put yourself out there. And I think you can be that way in person, but to put yourself out there online that way takes some practice for anyone who's going to get there. But I think it brought me to a story I posted yesterday of my client, because she'd finished her session and she literally just was sprawled out on the floor, and I just videoed it, and I was like, "You're looking really comfortable there, Kim. Are you okay?" And it was just that banter, because it's not, when I train people, it's not we're just strict and I'm just counting numbers. that's something I really abhor, is just standing there counting numbers. It's, you know, you make it fun and also like just accessible.
It's quality over quantity, isn't it?
She's thinking about that the whole time. She's thinking about that the whole time. No,
and I think like when you do post, in terms of like if you do want to go viral, in my personal opinion, is if you've got like a long video, no one's going to sit there and watch a 5-minute video. Whereas if you cut your main points into a shorter reel, for example, of 30 seconds.
I think reels are the best thing.
That's it. You're bound to get more interaction. You're bound to get the whole content of what you're trying to get out there in that short 30 second. It doesn't need to be long. Yeah, make it short and sweet.
Like I mentioned, the coffee video we did, but it was like, what, 30, 40 seconds?
I'm going to have to see that after.
Yeah, you really do. Really do. And the editing, I sat there for 20 minutes and I'm like, you know what, that needs to be there, that needs to be there.
But sometimes you feel like you want to use so much of what you recorded.
Yeah,
and then
that's
it takes
it.
effort to kind of
cutting it out little bits and stuff.
Yeah.
Just before we end, we have 4 minutes. I just wanted to ask one last question to both of you. What jobs can you get in marketing? Like, what have you seen that you can get in marketing for jobs-wise?
I think that's better answered by Farishta.
You know what? I'm a used car specialist, so I don't even think I'm the right person. But in terms of marketing, like in my previous job, it wasn't called marketing. It was called a vehicle merchandiser, for example. And that doesn't necessarily indicate that you do marketing, but the fact that you're out there taking photos of a car, for example, you're advertising it without you knowing, you're already marketing. So it's like people don't realise that you do a lot of marketing yourself without knowing it's marketing. So
I do have a question.
Go
so
on.
like, if I take a photo of anything in, like, let me say in the radio station, I'm in the radio and I take a photo and I'm like, oh, come listen and all of that.
Marketing.
And all of that. Yeah, and so isn't that marketing?
Yeah, that's marketing. Yeah, so you do marketing without even realise you do marketing.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of roles involve you to do marketing. If you sell houses, you're out there telling people you sell houses, you're marketing again.
And that's where networking
comes in.
That's it, So the more you network, people are going to know what you do. And not necessarily, you're not sitting there selling yourself,
but what you do and how that's going to be beneficial to people using it.
So I do actually have a list of the jobs. I did not realize I had that. But you can be a social media manager, social media coordinator, content creator, influencer, marketing manager. Gosh, there's a lot of jobs. Social media advertising manager, community manager, and social media strategist, and a brand ambassador and a social media trainer. Gosh,
I think a lot of us could say we wear many hats. You know, when we do what we do.
Like Fatema, starting from you probably like wake up, get ready for the gym. That's like your lifestyle. You've got to sort out 2 kids as well in the morning. But once you go on social media, you straight away start marketing. Fatima's not got any personal things to put on Fearless Fitness.
We also got another text in. It says, not a question, just wanted to say well done to 2 very inspiring women, 2 humble and beautiful souls.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. These are the
such
comments.
a lovely comment.
I think these are the things that
Can I just say one thing?
Yes,
and it's kind of like a shout out to all of my beautiful, strong clients. And I just want to put it out there that all of them, you know, I'm so proud of how much effort they put in. They're mums, some of them are not mums, but, you know, they take time out for their fitness. So it's not a plug. I just wanted to say I'm so proud of the women I work with. And they inspire me just as much as I inspire them.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
And being a woman in the motor trade, knowing it's a very male-dominant place, it feels great to go in there with so much knowledge about cars.
True,
like, you know, if you would go to a car dealership, you'd probably be frightened knowing I don't know what I'm talking about.
I actually feel comfortable coming to you
exactly,
now.
It's about
I
a
actually
car.
need a new car.
And it's always people.
We've got a new Easy Drive client.
Sort me out, please.
Yeah, people always message me on Instagram, like, I'm looking for a new car, what would you recommend? It's just nice to be that face for people, for women, that if they ever need anything, you can come to me and I'll give you the best possible advice. But women power. Yes.
Anyways, Jazakallah guys so much for coming on today's show.
Thank
Sadly, we have to end the show.
Oh, no.
I'm so sad. It's been an amazing show. I think one of my best shows this Ramadan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sad that I left this for the end. No, but seriously, I think it's a good way to end off Ramadan.
Yeah.
And
We've had such a good time.
It was a really good time.
Yeah,
and I
honestly.
think the time flew by so quickly. And alhamdulillah, it was such a good show. I'm so happy with the outcome. It's been amazing. the topics. We've covered everything, I believe. And if you guys do have any questions, please do do message these lot on Instagram. And my last message is for you guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in on my shows this year. It's been an amazing time with Ramadan Radio. I've had a very fun experience, and inshallah I will be seeing you guys next year. Inshallah, I hope. And inshallah I'll see you guys on my show again. No, but seriously, Jazakallah so much for coming on. I hope you guys have all had a blessed Ramadan. Wish you Eid Mubarak as well, because I won't be on the show anymore.
Eid Mubarak, guys.
Eid Mubarak, guys.